Hi, Sukhandar. My name is Ellen. I'll be correcting these for you. Let's get straight into it and see what you wrote. We've got schools, entertaining, or academic. Let's see. A lot of experts are debating over whether education should be the primary focus of educational institutions or whether they can add more enjoyable activities to their schedules. Although education is the primary focus of the schools, academic institutions should also try to introduce certain forms of entertainment into their routine in a measured and controlled manner. This essay will discuss both sides using examples from Harvard University and UNESCO to demonstrate points and support arguments. Okay, this is good. I'm happy with this. You said that yes, education, but make it fun. So it makes sense that you're going to talk about both sides. Um, I didn't love this. A lot of experts are debating over. It probably just should have been a lot of experts are debating whether without the over. I think I would have preferred that. Whether or, and then not a second whether, but a lot of experts are debating whether education should be the primary focus of educational institutions or if they can add, okay? Rather than, so usually that's what we do. We do whether, if. So that would have been better, and then the rest of it is fine. I liked it. Let's continue. On the one hand, academic institutions can include certain aspects of entertainment into their routine. This is because in the modern world, schools have become hyper-competitive and students are under enormous amounts of stress to perform. The introduction of a few enjoyable activities will help pupils to de-stress and re-energize themselves. I would have liked a dash here, just like the way you did here. Another reason is that children can easily get bored with mundane academic routines, and they require certain engaging activities to keep them interested. A recent study by Harvard University showed that schools which incorporated bi-weekly field trips had increased turnaround of students and academic performance improved by 5%. I don't know, what do you mean here, turnaround? I wasn't really clear with that. Therefore, incorporating pleasurable activities can be considered by schools to improve the performance of their students. Okay, good. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Oh, wait. Okay. On the other hand, the primary goal of schools is to educate students and not entertain them. Firstly, teachers are hired to teach and impart knowledge to students and not to entertain them. You just said that. So, not entertain them, and then here you got not entertain them. So, we definitely have to work on that. Let's try it again. On the other hand, the primary goal of schools is to educate students and not entertain them. Uh, you could have said something like, this is why teachers are hired, and then you could maybe have a semicolon. They their function is to help impart knowledge. Okay. Then you might want to say something like separate that into a new sentence and then say, I don't know, just kind of prove your point. But I want you to do it differently. If this were not the goal, then perhaps a different profession uh, would have been selected. Do you understand what I mean? So I think I know what you're trying to do, but the way you did it, it just felt super repetitive. Okay. All right. Secondly, it is possible for the less attentive students easily distracted. If the students are not well behaved, there is also a possibility for the class to get out of control. For example, numerous studies by UNESCO showed that the classes often descended into anarchy when the schools, all right, careful. UNESCO showed that classes often descended into anarchy when schools deviated from their aim of educating children. Therefore, schools should focus on educating children rather than entertaining them. Okay. All right. Why do you have another paragraph here? Oh, I see. It's your conclusion. Numerous studies have shown that introducing entertainment into the academic routines in schools can be beneficial to students and help them perform better. However, it should also not be forgotten that there might be concerns about students getting distracted and becoming uncontrollable. As such, it can be concluded that educational institutes could be more entertaining and they should be closely monitored under supervision so that the situation is always under control. Okay. I liked this for the most part. I think you did a very good job. I want to do one little thing here. 362 words. Okay. So one thing that I'm going to ask you to do is tighten this. I don't want you to write such a long conclusion. There's really no reason for it. What your conclusion needs to have is essentially a restatement of your position. And then you need to just end it with a thought provoking statement or a prediction for the future or something like that. But you did not need to go into all of this. I felt like it was a brand new body paragraph when I first saw it. So I would advise you against doing this. Let's see. And all right. So I also want to understand something else. Although education is a primary focus, academic institutions should try to include entertainment. Okay, and then here you said they should try to introduce entertainment. However, okay, and then what are you saying at the end? They could be more entertaining and should. Okay, so it sounds like you are maybe 40% in favor of academic education and 60% in favor of entertainment. Did I read that correctly? If that's the case, I want you to be a little more consistent in the way you write this because it was a little confusing. Let me show you what I mean. So, here you said, although education is the primary focus, they should try to include entertainment. Now, the way you did this here, this is how it should have been presented throughout your conclusion. So, I'm sorry. This is how your position should have been stated throughout the essay. Let me show you what I mean. So, the side that I sort of agree with, followed by the side that I absolutely 100% agree with. Okay? Now, how could you do that? You had to make it clearer here, because here I feel like you kind of flip flop. Like, yeah, it's good, but they need to be, have academics. Yeah, but we should try and include a little more. So I didn't really want this. I think you should just be firm and say, despite the importance of academic education in schools, students do need to be supplied with means of de-stressing and enjoyment. Okay, something like that. Now, the way you would have done this in your body paragraph is by having this first, because it's an image of what you did up here. Okay, so what am I telling you? I'm telling you essentially that I wanted you to reverse your body paragraphs. This is the side that you support less. This is the side that you support more. So the side you support more should come at the bottom. It should come closer to your conclusion. Okay, so that's another change that I would suggest making here. But for your first essay, it's actually quite good. I am happy with it. So I'm excited to see what you have here in your second essay. Let's take a look. All right, so now let's look at this one about enjoyable activity with a child. Due to the design of our current education system, parents tend to lay more emphasis on reading than taking part in fun activities. Research suggests that children taking part in fun and enjoyable physical activities develop more all-around and creative thinking skills than children who only read books all day. I strongly agree with this approach, and its benefits will be covered in this essay. That's beautiful. I really like that. Good. Children are more likely to develop superior skills and creativity while participating in fun activities rather than reading. There are several reasons for this. Mainly, young children can learn more by context instead of sitting at home memorizing them. This is awkward. Memorizing what? What are they memorizing? Um, yeah, it's unclear what this them refers to. Physical activities also help children to build confidence and an all-around personality. You just said all around elsewhere. Where did I see it? Here it is, all around. So use a different word. Also help children build confidence and a well-rounded personality, which is crucial for success in later stages of life. Okay. Taking part in enjoyable group activities helps youngsters to develop social skills and express themselves freely. A recent study by Harvard University showed that children who spent 3 hours a day playing while growing up had a 70% better chance of succeeding in their career or business environments. Okay, so you said that they develop skills and creativity. Okay, Then you said they learn more by context. Fine. Then you said physical activities builds confidence and a well-rounded personality. Then you talked about social skills and expressing themselves. Where is anything about creativity? I didn't really see that. I would not say that expressing yourself freely is a sign of creativity. So it feels like you're missing something. You said you were going to talk about it, but you didn't. So I want you to be careful about that, okay? All right. Even though reading helps youngsters to acquire specific skills, it is not the best method suited for their development. This is mainly because most youngsters consider reading as a ritual and are forced to read. This severely affects their ability to concentrate on what they are learning and results in lackluster outcomes. Furthermore, there are no studies which suggest that reading at a young age is better for developing skills and taking part in numerous physical pursuits. However, it is not to be forgotten that reading enables children to use their vivid imagination to visualize the story and concepts. Instead of swapping playing with reading, parents should give more importance to physical activities and reading books. Okay, this is lovely. We'll talk about this in a minute. Numerous studies have demonstrated that youngsters can develop all around skills. There's the third time I'm seeing this word. And creativity if they regularly take part in fun and enjoyable activities while growing up. I strongly agree that entertaining activities should be incorporated into the daily routines of infants in order for them to develop all the skills required for life. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I told you in your other essay. This paragraph definitely should come first. It's your concession paragraph. You put this at the top, you put the other paragraph, which is what you actually support, at the bottom. Now, where I have an issue is that here you talked about reading being very effective in developing imagination. Okay, so that has something to do with creativity. However, you kept telling me in your introduction and in your conclusion and in that first body paragraph that creativity can be developed in these enjoyable activities, but that's not what your paragraphs told us. Okay, so I really want you to be careful about this. It's cohesion, and you have to make sure that your essay is cohesive throughout. So take a look at what I'm saying here. Fun activity, right, here it is, fun and enjoyable activities, creative thinking skills. Okay, you said it here, and then here, develop creativity with fun activities. All right, but there was nothing about it. Only here, when you talked about reading, did you talk about using their vivid imagination to visualize the story and concepts. So there's a disconnect, okay? And I want you to make sure that in your essays there is no such disconnect. Okay, so that's what my main concern would be here. I definitely feel like you're on the right track. You've used the template really well. The essay flows really nicely. I like it. I was happy with a lot of what I read. So now we're really looking at these issues that would keep this from getting a very good score. I mean, it would still get a good score, but I think it could get better. So let's work on some of those things, okay? So go ahead, correct these. Begin your error correction list, and then together I want all three things, the error correction, the essay corrected, and your new set of essays. Send them to me together, okay, so we can continue and help you progress. Good luck.